Abusuayan Somo, I'll say AGH Politics Avenue. Podcast or training because making headlines. And the Jembre, na EDB Exomo, and EDM Yang Raximu, Mesrox, Yanko political highways in Ejedema Enya Asam Koto Accra. Na Kofi Jumah, ye detainee no collapse ya didn't call a year intensive care unit, Onya, Meno Kase, Yokofu a season a year ni American passport. Onya, Omu Abandano, say, say akwantuo pa to America. No, it's not going to happen. Pending investigation based on alleged crimes Eddie Abono. The Sassam will say in a black rasta ajemre na obo in Chimu, Yanko insimini.
Kofi Jumah's American passport seized. Who is Kofi Jumah? Do we know him? Remember, Kofi Jumah for some time now has been going through some legal wranglings. He was arrested by Iyoko after about the third trial. They arrested him, picked him up, and brought him here. We heard NPP communicators saying that Raymond Archer had gone in to desecrate a certain box that was in the house of this guy. I've forgotten the name of that comedian, NPP communicator. He was the one talking about Sami Jemfi and the gold issue and how spirits and wizards, can steal gold and all that. My brother, my sister, that guy. He said Kofi Jumah had a certain box, and that box was never supposed to be opened. My brother, my sister, but Raymond Archer and his boys went in there, arrested him. In fact, the first time they went in there, he wasn't there. But they were able to look in the house and they were able to get the documents that they needed. And one of them, my brother, my sister, they are holding so dear to their heart as to whether it was taken from out of the box or outside the box. It doesn't matter to Iyoko. The most important thing is that where crime is allegedly committed, we have no diplomacy. Whether you are a council of state member or boy, or a former president's-in-law, it doesn't matter who you are. Nobody is bigger than Ghana. My brother, my sister, an MP has just been apprehended. That tells you that the laws are working. For us to be able to call our country a good country, we shouldn't look at people's faces when crimes are committed. Everybody should be treated equally. Somebody says he's a council of state member. For that matter, they should write a letter to him and then organize a last supper for him to come and eat and fill his pot belly. And after that, Agbaja people will come and dance from Hoy. He will eat akpala and fitiridechi, fill his pot belly before he will go and sit down in a palanquin and answer questions relating to fraud. What a joke. You think we are here to joke? Now this guy here, called Kofi Jumah, is the former president's-in-law. His son married the daughter of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And whilst he was in power, we're told he did so much. He collapsed companies that he oversaw, including the Aboso glass factory that Nkrumah built. 2 Kwame Nkrumah factories he brought to their knees. We told you the full story, so we don't want to sound like a broken record. He was arrested by Iyoko finally. My brother, my sister, he's almost 80 years old. And when he was picked up by Iyoko, they started questioning him. And then there was a bail bond on his head for 65 million Ghana cedis and some sureties, 2 of them to be verified. All of a sudden, he said he was ill. And therefore, he needed to go to hospital. They took him to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. That's what a lot of these politicians do. When they are arrested and they are in custody, they all of a sudden fall ill. Who to me is the chief of all the people who fall sick when they are apprehended for investigations. So they took him to Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And over there, he has been pushing for his bail bond to be reduced. While they were in court, and the bail bond has been reduced to more than half, 30 million Ghana cedis. He's supposed to be able to post that and the same sureties, two to be verified. But what hit him most, all this while, we never knew that this guy was a dual citizenship holder. He's American and at the same time Ghanaian. So in times like this guy could easily have jumped on the plane and he would be in America and call himself American. You see why I don't like this dual citizenship thing? Gabi Asare Ochridako and his friends, who are British and Ghanaians at the same time, they have decided that they won't take public office. But how this guy got into public office, I don't know. He became the former president's in-law. Yet he was American and Ghanaian and held such public positions. By our laws in this country, to be a politician and hold public office, my brother, my sister, you need to have only the Ghanaian citizenship. But this guy had both the American passport and the Ghanaian passport. He was the boss of Gihok Distilleries. And then he convinced his in-law, the president at the time, my brother, my sister, to also make him oversee the Aboso glass factory. Both factories built by Kwame Nkrumah. And he collapsed the two. Investigators believe that he stole a lot of money. And they went after him. If he had known earlier, he probably would have absconded. Like that finance minister did, Ken Oforiatta. Iyoko clamped him down. That guy, I think he's called Paul Yando. That's his name. He's an NPP communicator. He said, yes, Raymond Archer doesn't respect. He went into this man's house and then he decided to desecrate a certain box. That box should never be opened till the man dies. But he went and opened it. Can you believe such comedians, jokers? These are the people who are heads of political parties. Absolutely zero brained. No brains. Oh, Raymond Archer went with his people. They went into the house of this man. And then there was a certain box. Traditionally, we don't open this box until the man dies. And he went and opened it. That he was investigating things. For that matter, Raymond Archer should watch out. Maybe the gods will soon come after him. My God. Well, your hero Kofi Jumah is an American and a Ghanaian. When Ghana is sweet, he's Ghanaian. When Ghana turns sour, he's American. Congratulations to Iyoko. We love you. We appreciate you. Raymond Archer. Capo di tutti capi of Iyoko. He is the most talked about CEO in Ghana today. Because it is un-Ghanaian of us to be disciplined. So when the new sheriff came and decided to make discipline his middle name, many people thought he was overdoing things. But today, my brother, my sister, every criminal can dance around other outfits. Not with Iyoko. Your dance ceases right at the gate of Iyoko. And it doesn't matter who you are. You will be investigated. party member or non-party member. It's all about Ghana. If party members can be freed to misbehave because their party is in power, when another party comes, what happens? They also free their members and let them do anything. And who suffers? Ghana. That's why we have to fight, or else you and your children will soon go to South Africa to paint nails. And if there's no Ibrahim Muhammad to bring you back, you will paint nails there until Zulus kill you. And use your head for Ngongo. Is the black pot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. He taught in Fijai, and he was the only Malam in that school. Now, information reaching us has said that this Malam here, called Malam Anas, has defiled over 20 children right there inside that Makaranta or Arabic school. And his modus operandi would shock you. My brother, my sister, this is Malam Anas. Now, the news was first broken by the chairman and, of course, the patron of the Ghana Muslim Students Association. His name is Hajj Sheikh Jallo. Said Hamid Jallo, full name. He is a very prominent figure in Takrady when it comes to the Muslim communities. He's so much respected. He's a very wonderful person, and he moves from one Muslim community to the other, solving different problems. My brother, my sister, we first saw the post on his Facebook wall, and it shocked us. What was the post? Watch this. I was informed today about a madrasa malam who has been sexually abusing children, both boys and girls. He's currently on the run. Now, this issue has sent shivers down my spine. It is a stark reminder that madrasa leaders must rise to the occasion, remain vigilant, and take decisive action to protect children entrusted into their care. I will be meeting leaders of the madrasa tomorrow. Bi-iznillah. This issue mustn't be swept under the carpet. This was what he put up about 5 days ago. My brother, my sister, then he returned with an update. What did he say? He said, after my follow-up on the gay malam issue, it came out that he had defiled almost 20 kids, both boys and girls. Some of the audios in my possession are nauseating to listen to. Some of the children are suffering from the consequences of the penetration. He is still on the run. This is Sheikh Said Hamid Jallo Al-Hajj. He's somebody I know personally, right there in Takrady. And so when this came out, I quickly had to get in contact with him. My brother, my sister. And when Sheikh Al-Hajj Said Hamid Jallo was speaking to me, tears were running down his eyes. We had to break the interview and return to him again when he gathered himself, and then we were able to speak. My brother, my sister, what did Sheikh tell us in this interview about the modus operandi of this man called Malam Anas, aka Ifiekuma Malam Tonga? Watch this.
Okay, thank you very much, Black. Malam Anas is a young man who was employed to teach at one of the madrasas here in Takrady. There is a suburb of Takrady here known as Fijai. The chief of Fijai and the mosque management committee invited him to teach their children, and then he started. When he started teaching the children, he lives in Efiekuma, but the madrasa is in Fijai, about 10-minute drive. And when he was coming, every time he was coming, he would buy drinks, he would buy some snacks and beautiful goodies for his children. So the runners of the madrasa were so happy, and they believed that this man was doing very well for the children. But they didn't realize that something sinister was going on. It was later that one of the children complained to the parents that he's having problems, he's having pains in his underside or underpart, or let me say anus. And when they interrogated the child, it came out that the Malam who was supposed to be teaching him had been having sex with the guy or with the boy through the anus. So this issue came out, and then the parents of this child came and met the leadership of the community. And so they decided that they would talk to Malam Anas. And instead of at that time reporting to the police, they invited Malam Anas to a meeting on Friday. And I think he got the hint that something is going on, that maybe what he has been doing with the children has come out. So he absconded. But it happened that these parents were able to have a phone conversation between the child and Malam Anas. They called Malam Anas and made the child to speak to him without him knowing that the parents were recording everything. So it was in this particular recording or in this conversation that Anas himself was telling the boy that do not let your parents know that this is what had been going on between us. He told the boy that if you let them know I've been doing this with you, your Malam will be disgraced. Do you want your Malam to be disgraced? The child said no. He told the boy, I think you should recite Ayatul Kursi 7 times. The pains will go and everything will go away. But he never knew that at that time the parents were listening and they were recording. So this was the first evidence that was had. The second evidence was when Malam Anas called one of the parents who happens to be doing very well and supporting Malam Anas financially and in many ways. He told the father of this child that, please, I'm calling to seek your forgiveness. So the man asked him, what have you done wrong that I should forgive you? He said, what I have done against you, I cannot mention it, but I just need your forgiveness. The father said, how can I forgive you without knowing whatever you did? So tell me what you did. Then he said, it is very difficult for me to tell. So eventually he never said anything. And this man I'm talking about has 2 children. Now there is another man who lives around where the mosque is. This man didn't even have his children at the madrasa. But Malam Anas was able to do these bad things with the 3 children of this man. All 3 children, he did it with them. So it happened that whenever they were at the madrasa, when it is time for closing, he will select 2 children or 1, and then he will tell them,
we ain't some who writing course watching and so mamma was so yamre. That's an so bad in the Addo be any on ya, Asia.